November 3rd, 2008, I called a friend of mine, Dean Nelson. Dean Nelson runs Discovery Place, which is one of Wichita's kind of crown jewels of early childhood education. She started with nothing. When independent school first got started, she went to the school and said, hey, my children are coming here. I think you need a preschool program. I think you not only need a preschool program, I think you need an early childhood education program. This was at the forefront before there really was early childhood education. It was about doing something with the kids in their ages 0 through 5 so the parents could go to work. And Dean said, I got this idea. There's this Italian philosophy for how to raise kids and get them creatively interacted with their environment and to nurture them and to grow them both creativity-wise and intellectual. And so she created this Discovery Place. And I encourage you to find out more about that great organization. But the point here today is that I called Dean and I said, this is 5 years ago, I was just getting my feet wet with ideas of development but hadn't done anything on development-wise. I said, I saw an apartment complex the other day, and it was in a lower income neighborhood, and it had this kind of room in it, and it got me thinking, why couldn't somebody do low-income housing and then put a daycare center in that apartment complex so that the parents could leave their children there, so that their children didn't have to be taken across town and dropped off in the basement of somebody's house who may or may not be licensed to watch that child because that's the only thing they can afford. Why can't those children play with their neighbors during the day and stay in their community and be watched so the parents can go to work and earn a living with the psychological comfort of knowing that their parents are in a good place, their children are in a good place. And Dean and I talked about that, and Dean actually introduced me to a woman, Janice, who runs the Opportunity Project, which is a great child program here in town. And we had kicked around some ideas, but I didn't know what the heck I was doing, so I never got the real estate piece off the ground. Fast forward to a few months ago, and I'm sitting here looking at this model, this financially feasible model for low-income housing. 4 buildings that create this square and this Central Park theme. This is our rural prototype. And I'm thinking, what if we put a school there? What if we put a facility there for children? Now it's not just low-income housing where you're displacing people. Now it's a program where you're intervening in their lives.